Hello and welcome. This is Bijan Hushiar. Our objective for this activity is to configure devices with dual stack addressing, meaning both IPv4 and IPv6 addresses are going to be assigned to devices. Topology has one Cisco 2960 switch, one 2911 Cisco router, and two PCs. And they are connected to each other using a straight through and crossover based on the labels that you see on the topology. There are two networks in here. So we have set aside two IPv6 network addresses and two IPv4 network addresses for each side of the router. First, we are going to start configuring the router. We access the global configuration mode after the command line interface mode after the router is started. We don't want to go into auto config. There is no configuration. From the user mode, we go to privilege mode. Then we access global configuration mode. Complete. The first thing that we do is we are going to change the name of it from default to router 1. Then we are going to activate IPv6 routing on this router with IPv6 unicast -routing command. Now we can start accessing interfaces and configuring with the proper IPv4 and IPv6 address. First, interface G00, IP address 192.168.1.254 with the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. We have assigned the last usable IPv4 address in the network address that we had for this side. Now we are going to start assigning IPv6 addresses. IPv6 address 2001 colon DB6 :1/64. That's a globally unique IPv6 address that we assign. We want to assign link local address also with the IPv6 address FE80. All link local addresses start with that in this practice: :1 link-local. I misspelled link. Let me go ahead and fix that. Link. Now, we are going to configure the Slack without DHCP v6 on this interface. And that way, the router is going to be able to provide devices in this network with a prefix length, and default gateway. In order to do that, we perform this command: IPv6 address auto config. And then we turn the interface up, performing no shot. This side is done. We are going to exit back to global configuration mode and access interface G01 and go through the same process with different network addresses. IP address 192.168.2.254 with the subnet mask of 255.255.255 and 0. Then IPv6 address of 2001 DB7 :1/64. Then we assign link local address IPv6 address FE80 :2 link local. Link-local. Let me double check So I haven't made any mistake in spelling. Okay, very good. And then we configure Slack also this one with IPv6 address autoconfig. Then we turn the interface up. No shut. The router is down. The links are up. Let's go ahead and configure the PCs. PC1, we are going to access the desktop IP configure. We want to go with static IP address, not DHCP. Static 192.168.1.1 with the default subnet mask, and we are going to assign the IPv4 address that we assigned to G00 as the default gateway for this PC. That IP address was 192.168.1.254. As far as the IPv6 configuration is concerned, we go with automatic. If we do that, prefix length, and default gateway will be provided to this PC, and this PC comes up with the interface part of the IPv6 address itself using EUI-64. Let's do the same thing for PC2, 192.168.2.2. Misspelled over there something. 192.168.2.2 default subnet mask, and the default gateway would be the IPv4 address that we assign to G01, IPv4 address that we assign to G01, which is 192.168.2.254. As far as the IPv6 configuration is concerned, we go with automatic. Dual stack is done. We are going to perform end-to-end connectivity. We go to the command prompt of PC1 and we perform ping 192.168.2.2. If we receive reply back from end-to-end, IPv4 addressing is configured properly. The reply is coming back. And we lost one of the echoes. That's fine. As long as we get one reply back, the connectivity is there. Then I'm going to see what IPv6 address is assigned to PC1. I can perform IP config /all or IPv6 config /all and press enter and copy this IPv6 address that is assigned to this PC, which is PC1, and go to PC2 and see if I can ping it. Ping space paste. Since I can ping end-to-end with both IPv4 and IPv6 addresses, and the IP addressing dual stack is configured properly on both of them, on both the PCs and also on the browser, which is a straightforward process. Now we want to turn our attention to switch and configure that switch with dual stack configuration. We access command line interface of the switch. We access privilege mode by performing enable, and then global configuration mode with config T. First, we are going to enable dual stack on this one with this command, stm space prefer IPv4 dash and dash IPv6. There's a dual dash. So the command is stm prefer space dual dash IPv4 dash and dash IPv6. I make that default, which, oops, default. Okay, so the command is sdm prefer dual dash IPv4 dash and dash IPv6 default, making dual stack a default type of configuration on this switch. After we do that, we have to save the configuration and reload for dual stack to take effect. So I will copy, run, start from the privilege mode, and then reload to restart it, and for that dual stack to take effect. I wait for the switch to boot. I'll access the privilege mode from the user mode, and I go to global configuration mode, and I'm going to start assigning IPv4 and IPv6 addresses to the VLAN one of this switch, which is the default VLAN. Before doing that, since I'm in global configuration mode, I'm going to assign default gateway for this switch, IPv4 default gateway, and the command is IP default dash gateway space the IP address of the default gateway. All the devices in this network use the IPv4 address of G00 as their default gateway for IPv4 configuration. So I repeat that IP address in here, 254. Let me double check. IP space default dash gateway space 192.168.1.254. Then I access the VLAN 1 interface with this command, VLAN 1, and assign both IPv4 and IPv6 addresses to it with this command, IP address 192.168.110.255.255.255.0. That's the IPv4 address that I'm assigning VLAN 1. I'm going to start assigning IPv6 addresses. IPv6 address 2001 colon DB6 colon 10/64 64. That's a globally unique IPv6 address that I assign a VLAN 1, so we can access that VLAN 1 from anywhere to configure this switch, obviously after initial configuration. I also assign a link local address, IPv6 address, link-local, IPv6 address FE80 :10. To be consistent, link local, link-local. Let me double check to see I didn't make any mistake. FE80, very good. And then no shot to bring this interface up. I'm going to ping the VLAN 1 from PC1. I'm going to ping both the IPv6 and IPv4 of VLAN 1. Ping 192.168.110. Wait for the replies to come back. If it doesn't, we made some mistake. Reply is coming back. That configuration is good. Let me see if I can ping the IPv6 ping 2001 colon DB6 :10. The IPv6 address that I assigned to the VLAN 1 of the switch. Replies are coming back. So this side is okay. Now, we are going to be able from PC2 to ping VLAN 1 using IPv4 at this point, but not IPv6. Let's take a look at that. and I tell you why. Ping 192.168.1.10. Reply should come back. We may lose 1 or 2 echo, but reply eventually is coming back. So IPv4 addressing for the VLAN mode is configured properly. We can access it both from a local network and a remote. But how about IPv6? Let's see. I expect no reply coming back. DB6 :10. No reply is coming back. And the reason is that we did not configure default gateway for IPv6 on switch 1, but we configured default gateway for IPv4. It is not possible to configure default gateway for IPv6 on 2960 switch. Instead, we have to create a static route. So let's do that. Let's go to global configuration of switch 1 and type this command: IPv6 route. I'm creating a static route to a remote network. The address of the IPv6 address of that remote network is 2001 colon DB7 double colon, and the prefix length of this is 64. And in order to reach that remote network, the next hop that I have to go through is the G000 of the router 1. So I put the IPv6 address of that interface in here, 2001 DB6 double colon 1. Now I have configured a static route on that switch for IPv6. Let's go ahead and examine one more time, see if we can ping. Yes, replies are coming back. So that's how you configure dual stack on router, switch, and PCs. The main emphasis for this activity was to see how we do that for 2960 Cisco switch. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video and you found it informative, please don't forget to recommend it to others who may be interested. Thank you.